The ad revenue increased in December, November due to the holiday season. It usually does, yeah. But this year ad revenue has been low, and I think it's because of the Asmongold tantrum.
Survivorship bias because you became a streamer by typing on a keyboard. In a normal world, you'd be cleaning my carpets. Dumb. Why would I ever be a carpet cleaner? I'm a computer genius. There's no world where I'm ever cleaning carpets ever. Okay.
I think it's because of this this ad drama. What do they call it? The ad apocalypse. Because this year December has been way lower than the other. Like for the views, it's been way lower. Like the CPM or whatever.
Would you concede? No, I never concede anything. That employment statistics do a poor job of accounting for underemployment. E.g., if someone in tech got laid off and picked up a job at the grocery store while they apply for new tech positions, would I say that employment statistics do a poor job of accounting for well, I mean, like, if you're talking about just like employment rate, then yeah, that would do a poor job, but they're not supposed to measure underemployment, right?
What the hell? Oh, no, you don't.
I do not have time for this.
Feels like a god.
No chance.
What do you say about the argument that Europe cannot take more immigrants because there are not enough jobs for everyone? I don't know. I can't speak. Europe is a broad place, so I can't speak to all of the economies. My understanding is that there is a trend for wealthier Western European countries, especially to use seasonal workers from Eastern Europe, and that one of the things that like the European Union helped to facilitate was the movement of like seasonal temp workers, basically from one part of the EU to the other, and then you send them back. I don't know how true that is. I just don't know enough about all of Europe to say. Yeah, I don't think I can make any general statements. I don't know. Yeah, I just can't say. I'm not sure.
Has come over me.
And yet...
Made the
You wanna play?
paid me with.
What is she doing in there?
Do you really want to know?
And then
Destiny, how are tech industries saturated, but also they say that they are in desperate need of more tech workers? Is it like a skill base of workers that they specifically need? I don't think tech is saturated at all. I think they're always hungry for more workers. Just keep in mind that when you're reading different forums, you're getting perspectives from different people, right? So workers are always going to say that it's oversaturated. When is a worker ever going to say, oh, it's a good worker economy? Like a worker is never going to feel that way or say that way. And employers are always going to want more workers. So they're always going to say we need more people to hire from, right? So, I mean, yeah.
there's hope.
Oh, no. You are not seriously trying to backhack me.
Oh, nicely
Oh, no.
played.
It's not backhacking.
Now, this is just way too easy.
That's right. Chase me.
I thought you had skills. Oh, boy.
Have fun getting out of the wormhole.
Virtually happy.
Those are all the cases I flagged.
Okay, everybody take a copy. We need to see if any of the agents overlap in all of the cases.
Now, what were you looking for?
Wow. Every time I watch Destiny Talk Finances on here, I'd wish he'd watch Caleb Hammer on stream and review some of the people's ideas behind finances. That's usually just like financially retarded people, right? I get that Dave Ramsey guy, his stuff pops up a lot on my YouTube shorts. But I feel like most of the advice that he gives seems to be okay, but then he came out and he supported Donald Trump, so I don't know, man. The only thing I feel like sometimes when I listen to people like this, and I could be wrong, like maybe I'm just going by shorts and stuff, but I feel like sometimes I feel like they're a little bit too harsh on young people. Like a guy will call in and be like, hey, what's up? I'm 25 years old. I just graduated college and I was super disciplined for the first 3 years and I paid off all $25,000 of student loan debt immediately. I have no debt. I have one car. It's a 2014 Honda Accord. It's used. I bought it from my grandparents for $1,000. I currently live in an apartment. I'm making about $2,000 a paycheck biweekly. My rent is only $1,000 a month, and all my other bills are $500 a month. And I have an emergency savings fund of $5,000 right now, and I've been investing money in a 401k. I want to know if I have enough money to buy. I really want to buy a $37,000 Honda Civic, 2 years pre-owned or whatever. And Ramsey will be like, "You're never going to save $1 million by the time you're 30 years old that way. What the fuck are you thinking, boy? Where's your comment? Where's your goddamn brains, boy? A 2-year used car and your grandparent? Have you exhausted every single car from every family member yet? Do you have any goddamn? Do you know a car is a depreciating asset? Boy, are you a fucking retard? Where are your goddamn? What are you doing right now? You need to take every extra dollar. You said that it took you how many years? 3 years to pay off that debt. Why didn't you pay it off in 2, boy? Like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a little bit. It's like, okay, let's like. Enjoy life a little, but maybe I'm doing fuck. Let's watch one. Fuck it. Why not?
Exactly. I paid 2,000 of it off.
Wait, why did this start at 127? Is it because I clicked a part on this, or have I already watched this? No, it was 1 hour ago. I pre-watched it from before it was even uploaded.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Yeah, I just need help. I feel like
You're gonna watch the good faith criticism of you video. Which video is it on my subreddit?
I'm drowning in debt right now.
Okay.
Drowning in debt. Okay.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
So
Also,
I have
how do you do this show for months, years? I feel like all the questions are going to be about the same. Like, it's going to be the same shit every time. Like,
around 10,000 in a personal loan because I recently consolidated my credit cards. I was in a abuse relationship, and after I got out, I
don't know much about debt consolidation loans, like what the average interest rate is or anything, but generally unsecured loans are very spooky unless there's like some incentive program or whatever, because usually the interest rates on them are still big. It might not be the worst thing ever, but my God, don't ever get like a debt consolidation loan and still use all of your fucking credit cards. Holy shit, please don't do that. Holy shit, please don't do that. Oh my God, don't do that. You're killing yourself. Don't ever do that. Let me use the restroom real quick. 1 second.
found out that they probably racked up close to $6,000 or $7,000 in credit card debt in my name.
He said, watch Caleb Hammer, not Boomer Dave Ramsey. Who cares about him? Caleb is a more modern finance take and talks to people under 65. So I don't have anything bad against Caleb Hammer. Okay, I'm not shit talking. But it feels like from the past few episodes I've watched of Caleb, it feels like the people that go on his show are like exceptionally stupid, crazy, weird people. So it'll be like, and trust me, ordinary consumers are already bad enough for their money, but it'll be like, hey, I'm like a hippie from San Francisco and I moved to LA and I have $500,000 of debt and I want to buy this guitar for $200,000, but I also do OnlyFans and I'm like a house DJ on the side. Like it feels like over the past, like not that, like it's entertaining for sure, but it feels like the people are exceptionally crazy people. But yeah.
They probably racked up close to $6,000 or $7,000 in credit card debt in my name without me knowing about it.
What is an unsecured loan? Doesn't mean the interest rate isn't locked in. Debt that is secured means that the debt is secured with an underlying asset, meaning if you default on the debt, they can seize the asset. So for instance, you would say that a car loan, or you would say that a house, a mortgage, these are secured debts, because if you fail to pay the debt, then that means that the person that issued you the debt is able to seize an asset from you. They can repossess a car or they can foreclose on a home. The reason why unsecured debt is scary for a consumer is because unsecured debt is usually because there's no asset that the person can take, the interest rate tends to be very, very, very high. That's why for a car, your auto loans might average anywhere from 2 to 10%. I don't know what the interest rates are on car loans on average right now. Now, hopefully not 10%. That sounds really high. Maybe, I don't know what, like 4 to 7% maybe on a car loan. And then mortgages will be anywhere from 3.5 to, I guess they were high for a little bit, 7% or whatever. But like on a credit card, it'll be like 24% interest. But that's because on the credit card, there's nothing securing that debt, you know? How the fuck does a normal person get a decent desk chair that won't destroy their back and still be usably comfortable without being an absolute bank breaker? Your chair is $2,000, kill me. You can probably find like decentish chairs for, my guess would be easily under $200, probably under $100. They just like feel comfy. But if you're having a ton of back pain while sitting, my guess is going to be you probably are just using bad posture. Good posture doesn't mean that you're like sitting super properly or whatever the bullshit all the time. It just means however you're sitting is just not good. Find a different way. I recommend the gamer posture, especially if you have a desk you can throw your feet up on. Like, this is the good one right here. Like, nobody gets back pain. Nobody gets back pain like this. It's easy. Boom. Sink into that chair. Sink, baby. I would also say, unironically, if you're semi-serious, if you've got like types of chronic back pain or pain that seems to come back a lot or whatever, exercises that do work on your lower back especially, I think are really, really, really good for you. We're not used to using those muscles a lot or stabilizing those muscles, and they're very easy to compensate for. So things like that work your lower back are good. Do those deadlifts, okay? Core workouts, fuck core workouts. That's for losers, okay?
Probably racked up close to $6,000 or $7,000 in credit card debt in my name without me knowing about it.
Okay. Wait, let me go back. So we have a $10,000 personal loan. Is this $7,000 in additional credit card debt, or?
And after I got out, I found out that they probably racked up close to $6,000 or $7,000 in credit card debt in my name without me knowing about it.
And you paid that off?
And after contacting the banks and all that, they said there's nothing they could do about it.
Well, of course there's something they can do about it.
Well, it depends. Hold on, Dave. Depends on whose name that credit card is in. If it was in his name and they spent the money, bank's not going to do fuck. Bank's going to say, sorry, buddy, get fucked, or call the cops and file a police report. There's no way the bank is going to roll back on that, no? I bought a car with an unsecured personal loan. The interest rate was a murderous 13.5%, but I essentially paid cash to own my car outright, so no one can repo it. Also, just so you know, it was my first non-student loan debt. I guess you could do that. That's kind of spooky, though, but...
Wait a minute. No, let me stop. Let's find out where we are today.
What about a herniated disc? If you truly have a herniated disc, call an ambulance. Haha. I mean, even for a herniated disc, yeah, eventually I think you have to start doing back exercises again to get that normal. I really want to say I had a herniated disc like 8 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. but I never got it diagnosed, so maybe I'm just a fucking memer. But I feel like I did have one, or the closest you can get to it. And I think I missed re-racking. It wasn't even a heavy weight because I wasn't even squatting heavyweight. I think I missed re-racking like a 140 pound squat. And my back tweaked. A thing happened, but it didn't even feel bad. It was just like, ooh, that didn't feel good or whatever. It wasn't an issue. And then I went to sleep. And when I woke up the next day, holy fucking shit. The first thing I learned is, man, we use our lower back in literally every fucking thing that you do ever. I think the most agonizing activity was getting into and getting out of a car. Oh my God, it was so painful. Like super ultra horrible, sharp shooting, terrible fucking pains that probably lasted for, if I had to guess, maybe a week or two. And then after that, just like really bad chronic sharp, I shouldn't say chronic. It was just a sharp pain anytime I would use my lower back for basically anything. But I basically had that for months until I went back to the gym and started doing like deadlifts. And then after that, it went away like pretty quickly. But it could have just been, maybe it was just going to go away on its own. So now I'm just like associating those things stupidly with each other. Maybe they actually had nothing to do with each other at all and it would have went away anyway. So who knows? Bro tweaked his back squatting 80 pounds. Unironically, I think you can hurt yourself in the dumbest ways. I remember this is like a light thing. It probably only hurt for like a week. This is back when I could pull my mighty 2 plates. I was so strong. Wow. But even when I could pull 2 plates, I think I hurt my back once picking up like a 20-pound box. But I think it was because I just leaned over and I picked it up fucking retardedly. But it was a super light box. A thing that I was like impossible to injure yourself with. So I don't know. I think you could hurt your back in really dumb ways if you're not careful. Or maybe it's just getting old. Although I was like 31 when that happened. So I was a younger man. It can be a severe muscle spasm and your muscle can stay cramped for weeks. That's not lumbar shit. Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. I just remember I had horrible shooting spiky back pain that went down my leg as well. Oof, not good, but be careful.
No, so let me stop. Let's find out where we are today. Did you because you believe those lying, thieving bankers, did you borrow money to pay off debt that was not yours because it was done with identity theft?
Basically, yeah, because they said since it
Not
was
basically, honey. That's what you did. You went and borrowed $10,000 and paid off debt that this criminal, fraudulently using your name, opened up without your permission.
Fuck, did I miss part of this? Why are we assuming they did it without, because he said abusive relationship.
I was in a abuse relationship, and after I got out, I found out that they probably racked up close to $6,000 or $7,000 in credit card debt in my name without me knowing about it.
Does he mean that like they racked it up after he got out of the relationship? I guess I interpreted this as when they were in the relationship, they racked the debt up, and then he found out afterwards that they had racked it up. But maybe he means after they got out, then they did it. Maybe that's what that was. Maybe, yeah.
And you paid that off?
And after contacting the banks, and all.
Did you borrow money to pay off debt that was not yours because it was done with identity theft?
Basically, yeah, because they said since it
Not
was
basically, honey. That's what you did. You went and borrowed $10,000 and paid off debt that this criminal, fraudulently using your name, opened up without your permission, and you paid that debt off.
Yeah,
Crap.
basically. I paid $2,000 of it off.
No, I'm talking about.
Wow, Gaston, thanks for the 5 memberships, buddy. Proper lifting technique is hard. It's so hard. People say that it's better for you and more efficient. I lift a ton for work, and I find myself randomly trying to bend over because it feels so weird, popping squats constantly to grab 30-pound loads. Sorry. Over and over. I mean, I feel like if you do a move enough, I feel like it becomes more normal. But the problem is that, like, I think also you run into an issue where when you go to the gym, you're like in gym mode and you're like, okay, this is the proper technique to do this lift. And then when you're out of the gym, you're just like, your brain shuts off. You're like, oh, I'll just pick this shit up, fuck it, no matter what or whatever. But people, there's also, I feel like sometimes people say some things like conventionally that it's not actually true. Like people say like, don't lift with your back, lift with your legs. Like That's not technically true. And if you're picking down and like if you're squatting to pick things up, that's not really what you're supposed to do. Technically you're lifting with your butt, right? But yeah, I don't know. If you signal the muscles when you do the lift, you just have to keep that in mind when you're picking shit up. Just don't turn your brain off, I guess, when you're outside of the gym, I guess. Yeah.
About the $10,000 you borrowed, that's what you used it for. You paid off the credit cards with it.
Yeah, I paid off.
You're not lifting with your butt. Shit. Okay, hold on. I don't want to. I don't want to get triggered on. We're not triggering. We're not doing exercise takes today. Okay. When you're lifting, when you're picking something up from the floor, okay, your back is supposed to be in a neutral position. All right, not straight, but it's supposed to be neutral and supported. Okay, and you're squatting a little bit. But the primary mover in any lift for lifting stuff up from the floor is squeezing your glutes. I'm pretty sure it's literally the primary targeted muscle in a deadlift are your glutes. That's what you're lifting with. That's what's straightening your body out. I think aren't your glutes, are they the biggest muscle in your body or is that your quads? When you're going from what is this called? Your hip hinge. When you're going up from a hip hinge, the big mover there is unless you literally have the weight on your back, I guess, are your glutes. That's just making this up. This is not remotely true, LeMayo. Or your hand, okay. If you're doing a deadlift, your target muscle group are your glutes. Synergists, meaning other things that are helping with the primary movement, are your quads. That's what makes it feel like a squat, kind of, but they're not the targets like it would be in a squat, or at least in a barbell squat. I don't know which adductor this is. Your hamstrings and where your soleus. Where is this at? Oh, these losers down here. No one cares. But explain what is the function of an adductor versus abductor? Doesn't adduction or abduction have to do with, it's like in a plane moving, there's a whole fucking, people that do this muscle shit hardcore are like fucking geometrists. Okay, I don't know.
The credit cards and then...
I'm talking about the $10,000 you borrowed. That's what you used it for. You paid off the credit cards with it.
Yeah, I paid off the credit cards and then...
Is there any debt outstanding that the criminal did that you haven't paid yet?
This article is full of shit. No mention of upper body back muscles because your upper body back muscles are just... I don't think it would even be a stabilizer, would it be? It might be a stable... Oh, that's just stabilizing. You're not like actually... you're not lifting... A deadlift is not... You're not lifting this with any of your upper back muscles. You're just stabilizing the weight. Abduction is away and adduction is towards. Okay, yeah, that might be what it is. But...
No.
Dadgummit, son.
Okay, stop.
You borrowed. That's what you used it for. You paid off the credit cards with it.
Yeah, I paid off the credit cards and then...
Is there any debt outstanding that the criminal did that you haven't paid yet?
No.
Dadgummit, son. You got screwed twice.
Basically,
you don't owe that money.
My fiance.
You didn't owe that money. When someone fraudulently, if I take your name and go open up a credit card in your name, you don't owe the money. That's called a criminal act. It's fraud.
Your erectors are literally the movers along with the hamstrings. I don't, your spinal erectors, I don't believe are supposed to move. Aren't they supposed to be stationary the entire time? Or not stationary, but like in the same position the entire time? Like if these are moving, aren't you like destroying your back? Okay, no more. Back to this. They're all engaged. It's not about what's engaged. It's about it's about what's contracting and expanding during the lift, right? Like a muscle might be stabilizing or might be like an antagonist stabilizer. So like I think when you, what are the antagonists? They're the muscles that are expanding or contracting on the other end of the movement, but they're not the movers. So like your biceps, I think, are an antagonist in like a bench press, I think. I don't remember. Look at that. Or no, that might be what a dynamic stabilizer is. A dynamic stabilizer might be something that is shortening or lengthening on the other end of a movement, but they're not like a mover. But for your the shape of your lower back, it also depends on what type of deadlift you're doing. I don't believe there is any deadlift where your lower back should be contracting or expanding during the movement. That sounds like you're breaking your back. That sounds like you're destroying yourself. But, okay, that's it. That's the last line. Look up Romanian deadlift. In a Romanian deadlift, I think that you're flexing at the hip, but I don't think you're curling your lower back. That's what it's for. Am I wrong? I don't think Romanian deadlift is curling your is.
Here's the simplest 3-step process for a perfect Romanian deadlift.
This is way over exaggerated. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. He was getting into position. My bad. Okay. Base. This lower back is neutral the entire time, which is, I think it's how it's supposed to be in every single like deadlift type lift. And in fact, I think it's actually incredibly rare that you're ever bending your lower back in a lift. I think this is why people don't recommend sit-ups. I think there are some lifts. What's the one where you lower like the dumbbells or the barbells to your toes and you actually do bend your back? Am I thinking it's not Jerry curls? That sounds like a black hair product. Jefferson curl. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Fuck me. Jefferson curls. I think at these you lower your, you'll bend your lower back. But this is like a low weight exercise. Destiny, good mornings. Good mornings. I don't think you're supposed to bend your lower back either. No, that's with the barbell above you, and then you come down and up. Do you hip? Oh, you need hip hinge too. Yeah, even on a good morning, I don't think you're supposed to. Can you explain thermodynamics? Yeah, when I fuck your mom's puss, it gets real hot. Okay. All right, stop.
My fiance.
You didn't owe that money that the criminal did that you haven't paid yet.
No.
Dadgummit, son. You got screwed twice.
Basically,
you don't owe that money.
My fiance.
You didn't owe that money. When someone fraudulently, if I take your name and go open up a credit card in your name, you don't owe the money. That's called a criminal act. It's fraud. That's what identity theft is.
Since I had the credit cards,
I feel like before he says this, you need to figure out like how were these cards opened? Because if you go to a bank or something, or if you go to a place and you open a credit card and you hand a partner's name and that partner spends that card like crazy without telling you, you're a co-signer to the card. You're still liable. There is no such thing as fraud there. But I don't know if they cut some of this or if he's just assuming that the person opened the card and he's just running from there, but I don't know.
So I followed the show, and
I thought you said they opened up the card in your name without your permission.
Yeah, basically what happened was
opened up the card in your name without your permission.
Yeah, basically what happened was
okay, now we're finding out what actually happened. Okay.
Had them as like the emergency fund, never used them, and then without really
That's different than opening up a card. They took your card that you opened up and used it without your permission. That's different. You understand?
Yeah.
If you
Jeez, now he's shouting at the dude. Guy didn't even know.
hand Ken Coleman your card and say, go use it, you're liable for that.
Yes. Okay.
If Ken Coleman goes and opens up a card in your name without your permission, fraudulently signing your signature, that's identity theft. You're not liable for that. You understand the difference?
Yes.
So you handed the fiance your card and they went bonkers with your card.
So I didn't even give them the card. That's the biggest thing is
honey, they used a card that was open in your name. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you owe $10,000. And what do you make, hon?
So right now I make 45, and then in 5 months I'll be making 55.
What do you do?
So I am a child abuse investigator for the state.
That's an irony. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to be what?
And then I am a child abuse investigator for the state.
That's an irony.
Trying to be a administrator state.
55.
What do you do?
So I am a child abuse investigator for the state.
Child something investigator? Child abuse investigator. Okay. Jesus.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So you owe $10,000, and what do you make, hon?
So right now I make 45, and then in 5 months I'll be making 55.
What do you do?
Okay.
So I am a child abuse investigator for the state.
That's an irony. Okay.
Yeah. And then I have around 7,000 student loans but I'm in the government program right now, where if I work for the state long enough, they fully pay those off.
You need to pay them off. It's only $7,000. It takes 10 years to do this. So $17,000 makes you debt-free, hon? Is that right?
Why does he... Do guys call guys a hun? I feel like that's only a thing you say to girls. Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Go get 6 extra jobs and be debt-free by, spring. You're not working but 40 hours.
It's a Southern thing? I've known Southern people. I know people that talk like this. Hey, hon. No, actually, no, never mind. You're right. My supervisor does all the time in the casino. I've told stories about her, Joanne. Joanne, not Joanna, Joanne. Yeah, she would call everybody hon. No, you're right. Never mind. Okay, that's true.
So I work around, so with my job now it's a lot of on-call. And so most days I'm home around 9, 10 o'clock. That's because of the nature of the job.
So you're working 50 hours a week you're working 50, 60 hours a week for 55 grand.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're on call. When you're on call, you can drive Uber.
So when I'm on call work
Oh, shit. Oh, wait, did I ever talk about this? Casino story, or no, not car reclaim story, 4 million. This is the argument that my the small business owner gave me. I complained that I was getting paid $4 or $3 an hour because I was working 120 hours. I was working, it was not for my pay periods, it was just an insane amount of work because I would have to be at the shop at 7 a.m. and sometimes I wasn't getting home until 10 p.m. But I would only have 3 jobs. I would get into the shop at 7, make sure my truck's ready to go by 8. But my first job's not till 9. But you had to be there by 7 in case a new job came in. And then my job might be from 9 to 10. I get paid $15 for that. Then I might have another job from 1 to 3, and I'll get paid $30 for that. And then I might have a job from 5 to 6. Drive back to the shop, clean my truck up, then go home, and I'm home at 8 o'clock. And I only made if I had 5 hours worth of jobs that day, 5 times 15 is 50 and 25 is $75 for, I might be for 12 or 13 hours at outside of my home. Then I remember when I complained about this, I wrote up a timesheet one day and I was like, bro, I feel like I'm getting fucked here. Okay. This is not, and he was like, well, hold on. You were not working that whole time, right? And I'm like, well, no. And he's like, well, what are you doing in between all your jobs? And I'm like, what do you want me to do, bro? I'm fucking 19, 20 years old. How old? 20 years old. What the fuck am I supposed to do? He's like, well, you could be running errands or doing other things in that time. And I'm like, what am I, what do you want me to do? I guess back then, did Uber exist in 2009, 2010? To see if there was gig work. I could have been doing other jobs.
You're on call. When you're on call, you can drive Uber.
So when our on-call works, if we have to initiate a report, we have to immediately drop everything, drive to initiate that report. And there's a lot of times I'm spending 12 hours in a hospital on my on-call days with a kid waiting for a reliever social worker to come and refill it. And the upside is...
All right, so what you got to do is you got to increase your income. You only need $17,000. This should not be overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's not that much money.
You got to have, I bet you got $2,000 worth of stuff you could sell. You could work on the weekends.
Bro, what? Sell 2,000 to sell your shit? Whoa. Firstly, I didn't hear interest rates on any of this debt. I don't even know if the $17,000 is a big deal or if you should even be trying to pay this off immediately. What did he say? He said $10,000 on a personal loan. Did they ever say an interest rate? That's the most important thing, number one. And then he said $7,000 in student loan debt. I didn't hear an interest rate on that either. If it's student loan debt at 4%, float that shit for a while, dog. I want to know what that personal loan interest rate is. Because if that's an unsecured personal loan, is that 20% or is that 15%? Because that shit needs to be paid off instantly. They hate all debt like it's the plague. Bro, why? Okay, that's kind of weird, but damn.
Your on-call days, whatever those are, you're not working 7 days a week. So this is a season where you got to
clean up the mess.
$17,000 is very doable.
But you're not a victim, okay? You handed her the card. You knew this was going on. The only thing you're a victim of is being engaged to an idiot. And you're not the first one that's ever happened to. Jesus. So, roll up your sleeves, hon. Get on a detailed, tight budget and get as many extra hours as you can, as much extra income. Don't go out to eat. Don't talk about vacations. Talk to your supervisor about, I'm not working 80 hours. You're going to have some kind of a different plan here because 80 hours for 55 grand don't cut it. The work you're doing is very important work, and it's very good work. You're taking care of kids who have been messed up. Thank you for doing that. You got a good heart. But also, you cannot sit and be a victim of $17,000, man. I mean, seriously. Let me help you with this. $2,000 a month, and you are done in 8 months. That's all you need. And you make...
Damn, just cough up an extra $2,000 a month. You guys say, I'm out of touch. Easy, just $2,000 a month. This guy's making $45 a year. Holy shit. This guy's making $45 a year, and they're like, just 50% your income. Jesus, okay.
Make 55.
How much Ubering would you have to do to make $2,000 a month in profit? What does average Uber driver earn? It wouldn't surprise me if $2,000 a month was like far over the average of what an Uber driver even makes. Also, by the way, there's like a whole ass meta to Uber. Like if this guy's driving around in a fucking like SUV or some crossover or some vehicle or whatever, right? This guy can't Uber. He's not going to make money Ubering. He's going to end up like eating more in repairs or whatever bullshit costs in his car than he's ever going to make Uber. Or he's going to make like $1 a ride.
So this is very doable. You should be done with this in 6 months and then have zero debt. But this debt represents all this pain in your life, and so it's like feels bigger than it is. Mathematically, it's tiny. Emotionally, it's huge. And that's why you act like it's some kind of big monster. It's $17,000.
The meta is renting a car to Uber so you don't have to work on your own vehicle. Haha, okay.
And, no, I'm not staying in student loan debt for 10 freaking years for $7,000 worth of forgiveness that probably isn't going to actually come because you're probably not going to cross every T and dot every I. A high percentage of people are worth of forgiveness. And, no, I'm not staying in student loan debt for 10 freaking years for $7,000 worth of forgiveness that probably isn't going to actually...
Well, it depends. Well, first of all, what did he say that loan forgiveness was coming for? Because if it's like from his job or it's from a special government program that's already existed, why would you just assume... I don't know. And I feel like I need to hear the interest rate on this as well.
Come because you're probably not going to cross every T and dot every I. A high percentage of people that run that game don't end up with a forgiveness at the end. So you don't want to get in that game. You want to get in the game of I'm going to knock this out, put it all in the rearview mirror, move forward in health and with enthusiasm.
Yeah, I can feel the stupid tax. We've all done stupid, every one of us, and that's what you're feeling. This is a breakup. She took your card, and so you've created.
I'm torn on this. I'm torn on this because I've met people on both sides. There are some people that need to be told, hey, you fucked up. It's time to accept that. And after you've accepted that, we can move on. But I feel like there are other people where it's like, I know, okay, you fucked up. Stop stressing about fucking up. Don't blame yourself for it. Like, let's just figure it out, move on. But like, people are definitely on the far ends of both sides of these train tracks. And to treat this guy, like I could make assumptions. I truly just don't know, but I feel like they haven't talked to him enough now. Like, it's entirely possible the guy knows he fucks up, right? Like, he knows he fucked up. He's divorced from this person. It's not like he said he was in an abusive relationship, so we acknowledge that. Like, what is up with all of the hand-wringing, the like, that now you paid the stupid tax, now you fucked up, you're not a fucking victim. Like, yeah, it sounds like if he's calling into this program to figure out what to do, it's not like he's trying to figure out how to like sue he's not calling legal hotline for how do I sue my ex. He's trying to figure out what's the way forward. Like, I don't know.
Tax, we've all done stupid. Every one of us, and that's what you're feeling. This is a breakup. She took your card, and so you've created this narrative. The way you led the call is that you have been victimized, and in all reality, you haven't. And I think Dave is absolutely right. The more you can quickly go, I've got to get a victory.
Like, he literally said that he paid off the debt from the past person. Like, if he was victimizing himself, wouldn't he have like blamed it on that person or tried to sue them for it, or just something completely I don't know. I just feel it's kind of cringe.
If I were you, I would go sell something today. If I could sell it for $500, or if I could sell 5 things for $1,000, get a quick win and put $1,000 down on this.
What the fuck would you? What is okay, I might be. This might be a rich middle class person thing. I don't know. What do you have randomly that you can just start selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars in your house? What the fuck are you selling? Where? Is this like are we playing like an RPG? Do you have like extra swords and shields? You can just go like unload at the local weapons shop? What the fuck are you selling?
That you need something to get.
Can I get an example of this? What is this guy going to go and sell?
Shoulders back a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with you. You aren't drowning in this. This is all a mindset because of what's happened to you and the way it happened. Learn from it, but get a quick victory. Like, happen to this. Don't let life happen to you anymore.
So, quick lesson, folks. You need to have Xander Insurance's identity theft in place. I do, because they will take over an account that is actually identity theft. His wasn't. But actually as identity theft, they'll take it over and they'll deal with the banks.
I do appreciate him clarifying that sponsor wouldn't have helped there. You get points for that. Good job.
The banks will lie to you and tell you you're responsible for identity theft. You're not. When someone else misuses your name, that is criminal fraud. and you are not liable for a debt when a thief uses your name to open up an account. Don't let some banker tell you that. That's bullcrap. And you need somebody in your corner with identity theft protection like Xander Insurance, and that's why we
I don't know if the bank will lie to you, but a debt collector sure as fuck will lie to you. 1,000,000%. Okay, one more. What do we give him for this? We should do ratings on this. C minus. No. D minus. I don't think he didn't give the guy any good advice at all. Like, wait, or maybe an F. He didn't find out what the interest rates were. It took him 2 minutes into the call to even figure out if the guy had been identity thefted or not. He didn't give him any good suggestions on how to earn more money or do anything with his time, right? What do you mean? To drive Uber? It's so stupid. I don't think people have any concept of how gig work works. You can't just like, oh, what did you do last month? Oh, I made an extra $5,000. Wow, how'd you do that? Oh, I did some gig work, you know, LOL. I just hopped in an Uber. Like, are you telling me everybody that does Uber full time is a fucking millionaire? What the fuck do you mean you did gig work? Bro, you drive a Chevy Silverado. You were Ubering around in that, making a ton of money? Really? No, how much do you think Uber pays you? Well, let's see. If I pay $50 on the app for a ride, I guess the driver must be getting like $45 or whatever, right? Like, what a weird suggestion. Okay, whatever. Sophia said, I've been wanting to get a second job, but I am conflicted about my free time. Why, if you need a second job to pay off debt, I think that's good, but why get a second job if you don't need it? Well, what else can he do to make more money? The only real option is a gig work like that now. In my personal opinion, there is always two things that you look at if you're working poor and you're trying to save on money. The two things, first of all, it's always, number one is always make a budget. I feel like he would say this everywhere, make a budget, make a budget, make a budget, because you lose a lot of money on random shit that you don't realize. This is where all of the meme advice that the privileged rich people give is actually important. So like the avocado toast and the daily coffees, these things do add up and they do fuck you. I don't think people are buying avocado toast, but like Starbucks and shit like that will fuck you. But the two big things are always your vehicle and your where you live, your rent. So if you can downsize an apartment, or if you can sell a vehicle or trade it in for a smaller monthly payment, these are always like, or especially for lower gas or maintenance, these are always your huge money savers. You're going to save more money doing either of those two things than you're ever going to make randomly doing fucking gig work or whatever the fuck. And then as far as second thing goes, how do you make more money? Damn, I don't know. When you're on an on-call job like that, it seems like you're getting fucked. You could ask for different hours and then get a part-time job maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Their meal is brutal. I try not to get coffees all the time versus people complaining about how much money they have, but order Uber every other night. It makes me really angry with hating the middle class take. Sure. The also, like, when people say, or some people do just shit on poor people or whatever, which I don't think is cool. I never shit on poor people here. I love poor people. Remember, I only shit on middle class people that pretend to be poor. Those are the ones that I really hate. When somebody tells you, or when you hear somebody saying like you should give up Starbucks or whatever, you can give up things like Starbucks, but recognize what you're paying for, and you can still keep like 90% of utility. When you're buying Starbucks, you're not paying for coffee. You're paying for the convenience of having somebody else make it for you instantly, right? You can buy like a coffee maker and make your own coffee. And these are like super good investments in terms of money saved, because it'll probably pay for itself in less than a month, depending on how expensive the shit you get is, right? If you talk about, can you buy like a drip coffee maker for like, I mean, I don't know who drinks drip. It's not even a thing people drink anymore. Can't you buy those for like fucking $15? Like a normal, whatever bullshit ass drip coffee maker. But if you don't want that too, I'm sure there must be like a cheap cappuccino machine that does like the foamy bullshit. You could probably buy for what, like 40 or $50 maybe, or less. Like shit like this will save you money in literally less than a month, you know? Like, oh shit. Nope. Hold on. I'm working on it, okay? Okay, we're listening to this.
Dropped a lot.
You must have had a negative. You must have been upside down in another car. You rolled it into this one.
Wait, 11% has nothing to do with it all going to interest. Okay, you should familiarize yourself with something called an amortization table, okay? Whenever you're making payments on a thing, the interest, technically even saying the interest is front-loaded is not technically accurate. It kind of is, but like what's happening is like, let's just think about it mathematically. Think about it, okay? Let's say that I want to lend somebody $1,000, okay? And let's say that I want to charge 10% yearly interest. It just goes up 10% at the end of the year, okay? That's it. Why the fuck did I put this in the front? Okay? Well, let's say that I want to have this person be able to make monthly payments on it, okay? All right. So I know that at the end of the year, and I'm going to calculate the interest based on the beginning of the year. I'm simplifying the fuck out of everything. So I know that I'm going to have this person, all right? They owe me $1,000. I know at the end of the year, I'm going to charge them $100 in interest, okay? So what that means is I'm going to take this $100 and I'm going to divide it by 12, okay? And I'm going to get $8.33. Whatever payment they make, all right, has to be greater than this because it has to cover at least all of the interest. So maybe I'll look at this and I'll say like, okay, well, let's see. I want them to be able to make the smallest monthly payments possible because consumers are retarded and they just look for monthly payments. So well, how about we'll do $11 a month, right? We're going to just $11 a month. And that's going to be your monthly payments for the whole lifetime of the loan. But what does that mean? That means that in 1 year, you're going to make $11 times 12. You're going to make $132 in payments. I'm just writing numbers all over randomly because I'm fucking retarded, okay? $132 in payments. And then at the end of the year, there's going to be that $100 interest fee that's going to be applied to your loan. So you're going to have paid off $32 worth of the loan. So at the end of the year, now your new balance going forward is $968. So even though you paid $132, you only paid off your loan by like $32. Well, what happened? It's because you're making a minimum payment, which is just barely getting you over the interest. But as you go over, like through the lifetime of your loan, right? What did I say? We're paying $132 a year. What if we, by the time we're at the very end of our loan, where we have like let's say we're at $200 of principal left. Well, with $200 left, there's only going to be $20 of interest added on at the end. So of that $132 payment, now $112 are going towards the principal. So towards the end of the lifetime of a loan, more of your monthly payment is going towards the principal, less is going towards the interest. If you want to see this written out formally, these will always be available for mortgages, and it should be available, I think, for every loan, or you can just write one out. It's called an amortization table or schedule. What an amortization schedule is going to show you is it's going to show you when you make a payment, where is that payment going towards, right? So this looks like it's for a loan, for a mortgage, because it says 30 years here. So I can see at month 342, my $2,147 payment is going towards $163 to interest, $1,984 towards principal, right? If you were to look at the equity that you have in a given thing, it's going to take this shape, as I believe, something like this, right? Where you're going to be making all of these payments early on, right? This is the equity that you have. This curve here is the equity that you have. However, these are your monthly payments. So it's going to feel weird that you're making all these monthly payments, but you're not getting like any equity until eventually you hit certain points where it's okay, all right, now we've got some equity, we're not getting as much interest accrued, and then we're getting more and more, or whatever. Does this make sense? Hopefully that made sense. Okay. So that's why when somebody's like, oh my God, in year 10, why do I have, like, how much equity do I have in my home over time? Can I just see a graph of this? It should like be that curve thing that I drew, hopefully. This is not true. This is something different. I don't know what that is. Oh my fucking God. Wait, what was that thing? This might be what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, this is the line. I drew it a bit more exaggeratedly, but when you make your payments, I'm looking, this is a function. I think I wanted the derivative of this, but I mean, this works just as well, I think. The derivative or the integral of this. You can see that like as you make payments early on, the majority of your payment is going towards the interest. And then once the interest or once the principal balance is low enough, most of your payment is going towards the principal. And then this is like the remaining balance that you have. You can see in the beginning, your equity would be the inverse of this function, I think, right? Like in the beginning, this is your remaining loan. You're not paying off very much of it. I feel like the curve is a bit more dramatic than this though, but maybe it depends on the interest rate. This is at 4.3%. I wonder what the monthly payments are, but whatever. Okay, you get the concept. Okay.
So going to interest pretty much.
Wait, let me get a Red Bull. 1 second. So $200,000 loan at 4.5% over 30 years costs you $400K? Correct.
Well, yeah, it's 11.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming you did the math on that or whatever. But yeah, you're paying quite a bit because you're carrying that loan out for a long time, yeah.
So I had.
Also, don't worry about being upside down on a car. I don't think that matters that much. When somebody says you're upside down on an investment, that means that the amount that you owe exceeds the value of the underlying asset. But a car is a depreciating asset anyway. You're not looking to make money on a car. You're not looking to flip it or trade it up generally. I mean, you can as an option, but it's not the goal of it. A car is something that you have for the utility of having a car because you need to drive to go to work and shit. It's like being upside down on a car, it's not really that important. It doesn't matter that much. I mean, I guess it feels bad, but it doesn't really matter that much.
How many miles?
Don't car dealerships generally give you a little bit more value for trade-in than they do for just cash sale? But I don't know. Maybe the markets have changed on that. Oh, people are saying no on that. It's lower. Oh, weird. Has that changed? I feel like when I was growing up, I feel like when you traded a car in, they always gave you more than if you were to just sell the car. It has always been this way. Am I losing? Am I crazy? Car dealers have to make a profit too. Yeah, but the way they're making money is by selling you a new loan on a new car. No, like they want you to trade in your car because they want you to step up into a newer car. Dyson series in cars and GameStop video games. No, GameStop video games you get fucked on. What?
That. Do you have...
Wait, is this always the advice on this show? Okay, listen, I've always said that the job markets in America are good. I don't know if they're this good, though. You make $50,000 a year, just go ahead and randomly work and get an extra $20,000 a year next year? How good is it for you guys out there? Wait, what? Just go and earn more money. What? Okay. Yeah, or have we asked if she has kids? The biggest issue is if you have like kids or whatever, like you've built your life around certain things, it can be really difficult to just pick up another job because now your whole schedule is fucked. But maybe she hasn't mentioned that or.
Yeah.
Do you have any other debt, Erica, or is it just this?
School loans.
How much are those?
$32,000. No. $18,000.
Close to 200,000.
Oh, I should have read the title of the video. Okay, well, now we have a significant problem. What?
I think it's 189,000. I know.
What are you, are you a street lawyer? How do you have 50,000? How do you have 50,000 a year income? What do you do? Are you just like a public defender for homeless people? What is her job?
The degree in.
I was gonna say I don't think that's a bad job. I don't think it's even bad to get a master's for it, but that's a lot of debt. Something is like, what do you think is the average student debt for somebody with a master's degree? I'm gonna guess 60,000. Average student loan debt, maybe it is significantly higher for master's degree. The average inflation-adjusted debt among 2020 master's graduates is $65,000. $200,000. 12.4% is the average graduate student debt. Jesus. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, never mind. I thought that was an interest rate. Okay. Damn. 200,000. The fuck? 200,000. I understand borrowing can be bad, but why is he so against all debt without a concept of interest? I've heard people say this in chat, and actually I kind of like 40% agree with it, although I don't know if I would say this without hedging a lot on a show. But people in chat are saying he's against all debt because he thinks people can't manage it well. That's probably, if you're ever going to be against all debt, that would be the one reason for it, is because consumers are retarded, so they should just never have debt. But
of buying new cars, maybe getting advanced degrees, getting jobs, like this whole thing is don't take the one offer out there, the one car, and go and take exactly what they say, the one school you look at and get accepted to and you just take, right? There's a life of options out there. And I don't think people do that, right? They get into a situation and they just, okay, this is great. This is what they're offering.
How does she even get approved for all those loans? Oh, ho, ho, my friend. When people are issuing debt, they're looking for the monthly balance payer. That's all they give a fuck about. If you walk in and you're some random fuck who's making $36,000 a year and you've got $150,000 of debt and you're like, oh, can I get a credit card? They'll look at you and they'll go, does this guy make his monthly payments? So they see you do like, excuse me, sir. I got a new $20,000 card for you right the fuck here. They love it. They love issuing debt to people that have no business having it.
And I'm just going to sign my name and do it. And so thinking through this stuff,
when
getting multiple...
When my uncle came to me for help sorting his credit cards out, I'm pretty sure, first of all, most of his work I think was illegal because he did a bunch of he do everything related to building homes and plumbing and electricity and all that bullshit. But his ordinary job at a gas station, I want to say he was showing less than $20,000 a year of W-2 income. I think he was a really low amount. And this motherfucker had like $30,000 of credit card debt. And I would always ask him, like, Rob, how the fuck do you have so much credit card debt? How do you have this? How does this card, like at that point in time, his lines of credit were larger than mine. I'm like, how the fuck do you have so much? He's like, I don't know. Anytime I get near the max on the credit card, he says that he just calls the credit card company and asks for a larger line of credit, and they always increase it. I'm like, okay. Is that the uncle that died in the car crash? Yeah, I mean, so I guess at the end of the day, and he had a life insurance policy, so he got paid out. So I guess at the end of the day, I guess he won. I don't know if that's winning.
Education.
Do these types of debt maxers literally never default? You can default, but who cares? Like, as a credit card company, if you issue a fuck ton of bad debt to people, you're issuing it at very high interest, meaning you're making money, right? So even if they don't pay it all back, you might have already made money on the customer because they're paying so much in interest, number one. And then number two, you can still sell that debt off. You can discharge it at the end of the day because you can still sell it to like a credit, like the people that do the repo shit. So you can sell the debt to like a debt collector, and you'll get maybe 10% or whatever back on it there. So you got a way to get some of it back, and you get money in transaction fees when people use the credit cards. So they can issue a lot of bad debt, and it still ends up being worth it for them. I say issue bad debt. They can still issue stuff that people default on, and it'll still be worth it. So